Hey, I'm Titus and this is Sponsorship Space, and my goal of every single video on this channel is to help just one person improve their sponsorship revenue. I want to answer just one question and give you 1 to 3 action points in each video to make it as simple as possible for you to improve and what you need to improve on in sponsorship. I'm also going to give you a free resource, and I want you to take action on the value that is given in the video. So today's big question is how to find big sponsors. Maybe you've been in the tier of $500 to $2,000 in sponsorship. You have an event and you've worked with local sponsors, smaller companies, or maybe decently sized companies in your area that are local, and so they kind of sponsor local events. But you want to try to find national sponsors. Also, local sponsors are great, but big brands have bigger budgets. But here's the thing about big budgets is we often, as sponsorship event organizers, we just reach out to a brand because they have a big budget. But it doesn't make sense. And the first action point I have for you is this. You need to better understand your audience. Remember, sponsorship is a marketing budget allocation. So every organization, every brand is coming from marketing. Their goal is simple: to get an ROI, return on their investment. So if they attend an event, they have to see that it's going to be worth it. A silly example would be if you were a country music festival and you wanted to get a bigger brand, you have to reach out to brands that make sense. A brand that would make sense for a country music festival would be Ford. Sell trucks, sell vehicles to people at country music festivals that like Ford. Makes sense. Another large company would be Lululemon or Patagonia or Gucci or Chanel. Those are all big brands, big marketing budgets. Doesn't make sense for them to be at a country music festival. So just because they have a big budget, they have a lot of money, doesn't necessarily make sense for them to be at your event. Another part of that, of understanding your audience, so that might be a dud to you, but I want this to be super practical for everyone. So reach out, prospect businesses that make sense for your audience. Look at your audience and think, oh, I shouldn't just reach out to every big brand. I should reach out to brands that make sense. Number 2 in understanding your audience is when you present to them, your audience, you have to have 20 to 30 data points. You have to understand their age, their income bracket. Do they have families? Do they have kids? Are they married? Are they young professionals? Are they going into retirement? Are they really far from retirement? What types of cars do they drive? Do they have credit cards? What types of credit cards? Who do they bank with? Are they planning on going on vacation? Where do they go on vacation? Would they consider going to a vacation in X region? Do they currently have a job? How long have they been at that job? Are they constantly looking for a new job? These are all data points that help you sell to larger brands that ultimately go back to understanding your audience. Large brands will sponsor smaller events, but they have to understand the audience. The problem is, if they're not trying to reach your audience, they're not going to give you part of their marketing budget through event sponsorship in your event. But if your event is exactly who they're trying to reach and what their marketing goals are, then you can get a lot of money from them, because just because it's 500 people, if they know that those 500 people, if 90% of them fall into their marketing goals categories as their avatar of who they're selling to, they know they're going to crush it at your event. That's action point number 1. Understand your audience. Make a list of 5 to 10 national or regional brands that your audience already buys from. It makes sense. It's a match. And then on that, collect data points on them. So when you reach out to these large companies, you can better sell who your audience is. An example, I worked military air shows, did sponsorship for them. If a brand is trying to reach the military audience, my event makes a whole lot of sense for them. If they are not trying to reach the military audience, it does not make sense for them. Plain and simple. Once again, going back, Ford. Military demographic buys from Ford, specifically military families, specifically young military members buy Ford trucks, buy Ford vehicles, buy Ford Mustangs. Who wasn't at my event was brands like Patagonia, North Face, Lululemon, Gucci, right? Historically, military audiences don't buy from those brands. Number two, what you're going to do. So action point one is understand your audience and create 5 to 10 national or regional brands that your audience is already buying from and it makes sense. And then subtopic there, you have to have a ton of data points on your audience so you can better sell it. 2, you're going to go to LinkedIn and find people with titles like marketing manager or brand partnerships for those 5 to 10 companies. And now this is where it's going to get difficult. And I want you to not get discouraged, but understand that this is possible and this is what it takes to get larger brands to be at your event, to go into the next tier. So you're going to go to LinkedIn or you're going to use a resource like Apollo.io to get contacts, to get information about these positions, these decision makers. And you can start with marketing manager or brand partnerships. That's simple. Go there, find it. Brand partnerships for Ford Motorsports in whatever region you're in. You're going to find that person. You're going to contact them. You're going to try to get their email. You're going to try to LinkedIn message them. And you're going to keep it short and concise. You're going to say, hey, I'm Titus. We have a country music festival in this area. And our audience is this demographic. 1 to 2 bullet points. Love to hop on a call and discuss more about our event with you. Then I wanted to give you the honest truth. That person is not going to reply. You got their email from Apollo.io. It's a website where you can basically buy email contacts. The brand partnerships, the marketing manager, that person didn't reply. You know what you're going to do? Say you emailed them on a Monday. On Wednesday, you're going to email them again. Hey, checking in. We have an event, country music festival in this region, this area. Then on Wednesday, you're going to email them again. And this is how outreach works. We're now at 3 touch points, 3 in a week. Doesn't have to be exact. We kind of want to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Monday, however it works. Then you're going to message them on LinkedIn. Say, hey, I'm Titus. Sent you a few emails. Want to make sure I get in contact with you. I think this is a match made in heaven for our country festival or whatever your event is. Then you do a LinkedIn message. Then if you can get a phone number, you call them. Or you can't get a phone number, then you go back to email. This is week 2 now. You send them 3 emails, LinkedIn message. You're at 3, 4. So your 5th contact will be email. Email again. So now this is your 6th or 5th email, 1 LinkedIn message. So 3 emails, 1 LinkedIn message, 2 emails, then another LinkedIn message, then a final email saying, hey, try to reach out to you. It's not working. Don't say that, but say, try to reach out to you. Hopefully we can chat soon about your event. Boom. That's 8 touch points. 8 times you try to contact that person within a 2 or 3 week span. That's what it takes. And if you can get a phone number, you also mix in a few phone calls there. Then it doesn't stop there. You don't say, oh, well, Ford doesn't want to be a part of the event. Then you go through the marketing team and you go next down. Next person after that, next person after that. And these can all be happening simultaneously. You don't have to just wait until you go through the 8 touch points and then go to the next person. These can all be happening simultaneously. Then you're going to find the next person, marketing assistant. Then you're going to go to the next one. You're going to work down through the whole marketing department. As many people as you can reach out to. You don't have to reach out to graphic designers and such. You're bound to, if you do this many touch points, you're going to get a response of, no, we're not interested from a decision maker that can make that decision. 2, they're going to say, it's just not the right time. Fiscal year, budget, already allocated, right? This doesn't make sense for us right now. Or 3, this is the person you need to contact to get an answer about this. So you get that, then you start working that avenue. But if you get nobody from the entire marketing team, the entire brand team, you know what you do after that? You don't give up. Then you go to the next, sorry, I got a phone call. Then you go to the next department and you find those same people. So it might be, you might start a marketing, then you go to brands, then you go to sales, then you go to HR, and you're doing H touch points with as many people as you can find in all those departments, and then you go to the next department. And where I say you give up is when you gone through everybody, you end with HR, human resources. They're trying to do recruiting. They're trying to do hiring. You'd be surprised at how many HR departments have a budget and want to recruit at your type of events, if the audience makes sense, once again. And with HR. But in each of those departments, probably a minimum of 5 to 10 people in each department that you're sending 8 touch points through. Email, LinkedIn message, or phone call. That is how you get these big brands. That takes a lot of work, a lot of prospecting, and a lot of outreach. And all you're asking in all these calls, you're giving them value, telling them about your audience, and you're trying to get them to hop on a discovery call to learn more about your event. Where then you can sell them, but that's a different topic. I wouldn't even sell them then. I would just try to find as much information about them and create them a custom proposal. That is what it takes to close a big brand. 8 touch points with each position, and reach out to as many people. I'll say 5 to 10 in each department, and a minimum of 5 departments that you're going to reach out to, ending with HR. And that's when I say you can give up until your next event. Then you restart the whole process. But you've already done all the prospecting where you found the emails, you found the contacts, and you get to redo that again. Number 3, action point I want you to take. If you want to find bigger sponsors and be successful in having bigger sponsorship dollars with bigger brands at your event, all this hard work will pay off. Write down their email or LinkedIn link and put it in a simple spreadsheet. This is called a CRM. And what you're doing is you're just staying organized. Because what's going to happen, you're going to collect all these emails from 5 to 10 people in 5 different departments and all these outreach. You're going to get emails. Some of them are going to be dead. This person no longer works here. But you're going to have a giant spreadsheet. But guess what happened? If you are organized the first time around and you put all these contacts in the CRM and you put their title and you put what your communications looks like, next time around, next event, it's going to be so much easier. And so maybe you didn't get Ford this time. Maybe you got a lesser truck brand or automobile brand for your country music festival. But Ford is going to be twice as easy to get next year. Does that make sense? So how to find bigger sponsors, bigger corporate brands to be a sponsor of your event. Make a list of 5 to 10 national brands that you really think make sense with your audience. And underneath that, make sure you understand your audience on a deep level. Then use Apollo.io. Huge tip there. There's a ton of them. Apollo.io is just one. That's how you find contacts, you find emails. Or LinkedIn. You find the people in all these different departments and all these different titles to reach out to. And you do a minimum of 8 touch points with each of these different individuals in each of these different departments until you get to HR. Then you can give up after HR until next year. And then number 3, save all this information, put it in a spreadsheet, stay organized so it's easier for next year. The resource I have for you is a free resource. You can go to my school community, request approval. You get in immediately, and then there's a free resource tab. You have a free resource in there. I'm going to outline a very simple and generic template of these 8 touch points. Email, LinkedIn, email, maybe a phone call, email, or LinkedIn email. And I'm going to give you exact messages to use, templates, drafts to send to these people for these 8 touch points. And I'll give you, I also will give you free resource of, I'm just trying to give as much value because there's not people that are helping this sponsorship community and have experienced nearly a decade of raising over $1 million, working over 65 plus events, large and small. So I want to give value to people that were like me that had to learn on the fly. I want to give you value of how this actually works, the event sponsorship game. So 2 free resources. Number 1, reach out process with templates on how to reach out and the order. And then number 2, school community is a free resource as well. But then the second resource will be the titles to look for when you're trying to reach out and find these people. You're doing your prospecting. So hope that brought you a ton of value. My goal in every single video is to answer one specific question, give you 1 to 3 action points. In every video, I want just one person to have improved their sponsorship program through the value that I gave. It's Tyus from the sponsorship space. Love to work with you, consult you, help you improve your sponsorship program, one-on-one, walk with you, and help you improve. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.